Good morning, everyone. Well, it's an early start for me today as I'm heading down to Leeds for the doubleheader of the Northern Superchargers against the Oval Invincibles. Now, I have never been to a game in the 100 before, which isn't that surprising given they're not exactly close by, but I'm already heading down south anyway, so I thought I would stop in and watch some of our Durham players playing for the Superchargers during the 100. So, what's this experience going to be like? I can't really say for sure. It's not necessarily my favourite format of cricket, but it is going to be cricket at least, and as I said, there are quite a lot of players I'm familiar with involved today. At the same time, I am expecting to see players like Harry Brook, Sam Curran and Zach Crawley on the men's side. And on the women's side, it will be another chance to see Amanda J. Wellington, who I am a fan of, and Lauren Winfield-Hill on the Invincible side, in addition to obviously our captain Holly Armitage captaining the Northern Superchargers. So hopefully it should be a really good day. I'm expecting to enjoy it one way or another. What I'm expecting from the results I will talk a little bit more about later when we get closer to the ground, but for now I'm on my way to get my transport down to Leeds, and I expect to check in with you once I get there.
News from the centre is that the Oval Invincibles have won the toss. We'll have a bat.
Yeah, there you go. Oval Invincibles will be batting first on all the Superchargers. Every single one of them will be out there to try and keep that number of runs as low as possible for their chase, which will follow, of course, today. This is a huge, huge game for our Northern Superchargers. You can see the team just over there, just getting ready to my side over there, doing their final preparations, a little bit of keeping up and getting ready. They are decked out in purple, as we see so many of you here at Headingley as well, because if you want to be a fan, you want to look the parts. So take a look at this. So fresh.
I'm not sitting here, well actually I am. I think it's somewhere here, but I'm just having a walk at the moment. What, you can't walk around? Why not?
It's not allowed, it's a ticket crazy. Even better in your very own Supercharged sunglasses. So we're going to gift you those. I want you to get them on and show me a fantastic pose with your side. Go on, rearrange yourself, have a little minute, because you've got the hat there, you've got the glasses, and you've got six. If you want to see sixes flying.
Right, I have been told off for daring to walk around and explore the ground half an hour before we start. So I apparently have to stay glued to my seat. I don't know if that's the way they usually do things at Headingley, but it's pretty poor if you ask me. So not a great start here really, but I've got a relatively good view from up here. It's not where I usually like to sit, but I'm going to be able to see the game quite well. And the teams have been announced, so I'm going to give those to you now for the women's match. So for the Superchargers, it's Perrin, Davidson, Richards, Litchfield, Sutherland, Captain, Armitage, Durham player, Carey, Heath, Durham player, Cross, Hyam, Smith and Ballinger. So that's 2 Durham players in the Northern Superchargers team. It's a shame that we don't have Fraser and Turner as well, but I'll take 2. I'm here to support them and hopefully they will have a good game. But there's also some other really exciting players in that team. Davina Perrin I saw play at Durham with the Birmingham Bears. She did really well, nearly got a half century. I saw Alice Davison-Richards with England, and Kate Cross I've seen a couple of times as well. Great player she is, so it's a good side who I'm looking forward to seeing. For Oval, it's Winfield Hill, Lanning, Capsey, Cap, Schofield, Gardner, Franklin, Wellington, Moore, Farrant and Smale. That's Sophia Smale. So you can tell what sort of atmosphere it is really, lots of loud music and a fair amount of people in, which is good. So we should get going in about 15 minutes, I think it is. There are lots of things like interviews with fans and videos on the screen and whatnot. It's definitely franchise cricket and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to think of it, but hopefully it will be a good time. Looking around, it's good to see there's lots of families really getting into the game. At least I expect they will, so that will be good. As for what I'm expecting from the game, this is pretty much a must-win for Oval. They've not quite made the progress this season that they will have wanted to. So they're going to be really up for this one, and they have some very capable players in the side. Winfield Hill is always dangerous, and then you have Capsey and Schofield, who play or have played for England. And then, how can I forget to mention, obviously, Amanda J. Wellington, who keeps the run rate down quite a lot. I said that previously, and she is a very dangerous player sometimes with the bat as well. So they have some good players, and it may be down to how they play today. They did win the toss and have decided to bat first. I think Holly tends to like to do that, so I'm not sure how she's going to feel about chasing, but obviously they'll give it a go. But the Superchargers lineup is obviously dangerous as well. I know what Holly's capable of. She scored a century last time I saw her. And then you have young Davina Perrin, who you don't want to let get going. Kate Cross, very good with the ball and can be dangerous with the bat as well. Also Bess Heath, obviously another player I know. If she gets going, she can put a big score together too. And then we have the Australians. I'm looking forward to seeing players like Phoebe Litchfield play today. I followed them for a little while and I am hoping for a good performance. So hopefully it should be a really good game. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'll let you know a little bit more as we get closer to the start. Yeah! Woohoo! 50 balls through the innings, so that's halfway, and the Invincibles are 45 for 3. So that is the first time I've ever got a wicket on camera, actually. First ball of the innings, Grace Ballinger gets Paige Schofield, so that's a good wicket to get. Since then, Alice Capsey was taken by Kate Cross and Marison Cap by Annabelle Sutherland. So I think the Superchargers will be relatively pleased at the moment, but Invincibles could still really get going. Meg Lanning is still there on 15 at the moment, and we now have Lauren Winfield Hill at the crease, who can be quite dangerous as well. So let's see what happens. Right, that's 100 balls done, and the Invincibles finish on 125.46. So potentially a decent score for them, that. I'd say it's around par based on what I've seen in the women's game this season. Not 100% sure though, so don't quote me on that. We had a good innings from Lauren Winfield Hill. She can always be dangerous, and she put quite a healthy score together. And also a good innings from Gardner, who got 19 not out. A little cameo from Amanda J. Wellington as well, who I think picked up 12 in the short amount of time she was at the crease. So from a bowling perspective, the wickets were largely shared. I think it was only Carey who didn't get one. Obviously, Ballinger getting Schofield on the first ball was quite good for the Superchargers. There were some boundaries they may feel they could have defended better, but it's a score that they'll reckon they'll be able to chase, so we'll see how well they do. I reckon we'll get going in about 10 or 15 minutes. It'll probably be Davina Perrin and Alice Davison-Richards to open, but I thought Winfield Hill was going to open for the originals, and no. But I thought Winfield Hill was going to open for the Invincibles, and she didn't, so we'll see what we get. "50 balls through, and it is 68-1 for the Superchargers. Davina Perrin didn't really get going today, only scored about 4, I think, before she was dismissed by Phoebe Franklin. Alice Davison-Richards, though, is having a great game. She's on 44 not out, and Phoebe Litchfield has just hit the first 6 of the day. She's on 19 not out. But to be honest, the game's been tarnished a bit. We've had 2 injuries for the Invincibles, with Tash Farron and Alice Capsey both going off, and that's very sad to see, to be honest. It's sad for the player to see them get hurt, and it's sad when it comes to a team having to change their tactics as well. So I do feel for the overall Invincibles as far as that goes. But Amanda J. Wellington coming on now. They're still going to give it a good go, and I will check in with you guys at the end of the game. So Northern Superchargers were able to knock off the total. 50 from Alice Davison-Richards really helped towards that. She did go next ball, but the damage was done, I think, and it was finished off quite nicely by Annabelle Sutherland. The good news is we did see Alice Capsey back in the Invincible side, so hopefully her injury isn't looking too bad. So an enjoyable game, the women's game, and we've got the men's coming up. I'll have the team news for you soon. So Oval Invincibles win the toss and have elected to field. They obviously want the chase after the other day. So the lineups at Superchargers, it's Crawley, Milan, Lawrence, Brooke, Pepper, Miller, Patel, Laws, Potts, Rashid, Duffy. For the Invincibles, it's Jax, Muyai, Cox, Curran, Billings, Ferreira, Tom Curran, the last one was Sam, Clark, Atkinson, Durham's Nathan Salter, and Beth Rendell.
Come on, Wednesday!
Beth Rendorf to Crawley, let's go.
Oh, it's a British dumper.
88 for 1 off 50 balls, and it's Zach Crawley who was the wicket. It was Nathan Salter who got him just before he got a half century. It was on 49. And we've just lost Lawrence as well. So that's 88 for 2 off 51. But it's still been quite good from the Superchargers so far, so they'll be pleased with that. And going forward, I think they'll really try and push for 200 if they keep the wickets in place. But we have Tom Curran on now. And you can hear the reception for Harry Brooke, who's coming in. So we'll see what sort of innings we get from him. It's the first time I'm watching him, so I hope it's a good one, as he's one of England's strong players and the white ball captain. So let's see what we get.
Come on, you Chargers!
The Superchargers basically started whacking the ball around. They scored 198. That's going to be a hard score to beat even for the Invincibles. But they're going to give it a go. They've got some good batters in their side. So we'll see how they do.
Oh, buddy. Chris, very aggressive. Oh, yeah, we know. Very aggressive.
50 balls through, and it's 80 for 2, so they're doing rather well so far, the Invincibles. Jax was looking dangerous, he went for 24, and Muai as well was a good wicket to get. This is a partnership that really needs to be broken between Cox and Sam Curran. They can be very dangerous. Okay, it's all over here at Headingley, and it's a clean sweep for the Northern Superchargers. The men did manage to get over the line against the Oval Invincibles, but it was a lot closer than it could have been. They certainly gave it a good go. There were quite a lot of boundaries hit by the Oval Invincibles, by pretty much any player who came in, whether it was Curran, whether it was Ferreira. They certainly gave it a go. I knew at the halfway stage that the partnership of Cox and Sam Curran would need to be broken, and it was not too long afterwards. So that made it advantage Superchargers, really. And then especially when Sam Curran went, though there was some debate around whether the ball had hit the ground before taken by the wicket keeper or not. But that did make it more difficult for the Invincibles from that point. So they did have a good go at it, but weren't quite able to get the total. But it's easy to see why they are where they are. They certainly have some big hitters for sure. As for the Superchargers, great innings from Harry Brook. He did what he does best, and he was well supported by Dawid Malan and Zach Crawley's at 49 at the start. So a good experience here at Headingley overall. It's not necessarily my preferred format, this, but it has been good to take in a game, be part of the atmosphere. It was quite amusing at times. They got a Mexican wave going. It was enjoyable for a lot of families and whatnot, and people who came here to see some tension, and they certainly could whack the ball, that's for sure. I've never quite seen whacking the ball like it. I believe that puts both teams on the same points with one game to go. I think both are likely to qualify for the next stage, so we'll see how that goes if they get there. But yeah, I'm glad that I've come here today, and I'll look forward to seeing how it goes. So shout out to the nice man I was sat next to on the coach down earlier, and security Simon, who I also had a talk with, and the family who was sat just behind me. It was nice to talk with you as well. So hopefully you've all enjoyed watching, and I will be back with you with another video rather soon. Bye.